Just a couple of updates. I will be going live today at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then there'll be a live that will follow at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the regards of uh, Tijae Baker. I want to make sure that I'm updating the community with the new content, also with the disappearance of this young lady, and trying to find her whereabouts, and hopefully she comes home safe to her family. So, with all that being said, let's get into this live. So, I've been practicing this behavior of uh, chess with Nature Boy for some time. I have to say so myself. And I knew that if I was to question the whereabouts of the women, I knew that they would pretty much appear. And they did. They did a download yesterday, the Carbonation Girls, aka his wives. And I'm quite sure either True or the wives reported back to Nature Boy that it's been being questioned if any of them have left him. And I don't think that Nature Boy wants his supporters to leave the situation, saying that this now is starting to become really shady. What is it that we're supporting? What is it that Nature Boy is not telling us that we need to get away from, and stop supporting? And I don't think that he wants to paint the picture of not having support. So I think that he summoned them to come live, do a download. I don't know if this is going to be a download and they're going to disappear for the next 30 to 90 days, but they did another download. Um, Always confusing downloads where we don't understand even what they're talking about because they're not living the same lifestyle that they're preaching about. And when you start talking about families, and making sure that the families stay one and wholesome, we know that there are at least two, Malia and Aya, in that camp that left their children behind because Nature Boy is not going to take care of another man's child. You're there to serve the purpose of taking care of him. And if he lays up and has kids or his kids that come through, you're supposed to be there to take care of him and his kids and that only. So we already know how he's getting down. But I don't think, again, getting back onto the point, that he wants to paint a picture any worse than what the picture is painted right now. That he's on a no bond. He doesn't know when he's going to get a bond. And even after 90 days, they probably have a trick up their sleeve to still hold him, whether it's to charge him with one of these allegations, or if someone mystery person comes forth, that will probably not be identified in order for them to testify or give a statement, they'll be able to hold them longer or imprisonment for quite some time. We don't know how this is going to go, but I am going to go live today at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be able to talk about it then, about that whole situation. I'm wondering if they're going to do downloads and make their presence known, and also to refresh us on where to send these donations and cash apps or whatever you want to call them, or even canteen to Nature Boy's inmate account so that he is able to eat pistachios and Slim Jims and all that stuff while incarcerated. Um, I'm gonna be honest, I was quite surprised to see that all four of them are there. I was definitely surprised. I'm not surprised that Aya is still there, and Malia, because Malia fought very hard to get first place. We knew she was passed around prior to getting first place, even though she's still getting mistreated in the present time. And the reason why she's having a vacation that she doesn't even know she's on right now is because of the fact that Nature Boy's gone. He's not in the equation at this time. But Malia is gonna have to learn the hard way. I know that all of their families have tried to reach out to them now that Nature Boy has been removed from the picture. I'm quite sure the local authorities also set it up this way, trying to break this community up, is what I'm gonna call it. And that's why I want to do this live about Tijae Baker, because allegedly, and this man, and I'm finding out that Terrence Hicks is not even his real name. He actually spells it a different way or something like that on those lines. So you can't search and look him up. And there is a Facebook page that I was accepted into yesterday. I mentioned that in my first live on Tijae Baker. Um, that I was trying to get accepted into the Tijae Baker, only for Tijae Baker, the missing girl, that allegedly, possibly, was lured into this cult. I got accepted to that page, so I'll be able to get updated information on that case. Also, I will do my own due diligence, with the news reports and updates as well on my own. But the reason that content is added to the portfolio of stuff for you to watch is because this man who is allegedly the ringleader of all of this, like Nature Boy, he does not get his hands dirty. He has recruiters that do it. So like in this case of Tijae Baker, just getting a little bit off the topic, but it also ties back to carbonation. They might even know each other, these two men. um they're looking at the involvement of the woman who recruited Tijae Baker. And I don't think the media is zooming in on Terrence Hicks, the occultist that he calls himself, that has this whole community, and he has an occultist college. So this man doesn't hide his practices. And we all know from all the years of us being on this earth and knowing what occult stood for, if there was any good in occult, we only seen tragedies happen for decades from the result of people joining these kind of communities. So that's why the local authorities, like in Nature Boy's case, they take this serious because they don't know the intent of this community. They don't want to have another Jim Jones or Charles Manson on their hands. So they have to look into this because people are taking these communities, and if it was not looked at as a demonic energy, it is now at the present time. Communities like this, CULT, those kind of communities like that, are looked at as demonic forces. Nothing good comes out of it. A lot of violation to minors, some in some cases, not, I won't say at Nature Boys camp, and a lot of abuse even to the adults, like in this case here, to the women and men that follow these kind of communities. Nothing really good comes out of it, because even when you break these people up, what are they going to offer to the community when they get out of this situation? Are they going to go into the supermarket and start rants? And you get what I'm saying. Are they going to be on the news of they just had enough and they're over the edge? Now they're trying to end people's lives because of the tragic situation that they come from, the misfortunes. That's why we cannot look at this like Nature Boy's in jail. We should stop talking about him. It's going to be a while before this commentary completely disappears. People, number one, want to hear about is he going to get a bond? Also, a lot of stuff's going to come out if he is charged and goes to trial. It's going to be a trial, and there's going to be commentary attached to that trial. So there's a lot of things that the public want to know. And there are people that don't tune into this content on a regular basis. They might take a whole year off and they put in a year, and I see people in the comment section come back to like, what happened? They don't even know Nature Boy's locked up. They don't even know that Velvet left Nature Boy over like a year and a half ago, and she had another baby. She has a new man, a new life, and she's living her best life. They don't know any of these things because everyone does not look at this content at the same time. Now, I'm going to definitely wean you guys off slowly into new content. However, we will report what goes on in carbonation because they do still exist, and they made their presence known yesterday. And we're going to discuss this further in a live stream again at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully you guys can make it. Also, I want to say thank you for the people who kept their word and came to my new content with the P-Valley Season 2, Episode 3. Also with yesterday's live with the Tijae Baker case, her being allegedly lured to a cult. And me discussing that. Thank you for coming through. Whether you was in the live at the time and you watched the pre recorded live after it wasn't no longer live, thank you for that watch. Thank you for that like. Thank you for that comment. Whatever you did to people who have been following me with the Nature Boy content, thank you for supporting me and coming through. And I really appreciate that.